Welcome to the bold analysis. The more things change, the more they remain the same. Recently, I have seen the president moving across the country with his deputy. And even during the last Mount Kenya tour, his deputy had changed tone and was telling the president that I am not walking out of government. The newspapers are reporting that Rigathi was able to outfox the impeachment plotters within the UDA party. But the rushed move to remove Malala from the UDA party is turning more chaotic. And the report on what he is saying during his the latest press briefing is going to blow your mind. Directly, William Ruto is removing Rigathi Gachagua officially from UDA party. But what are the stakes in it? Or what exactly is the objective? I want us to walk through this. Make sure kindly subscribe to our channel. Something happened in the UDA party and in the manner in which Malala was removed from the party. Much as I may not subscribe to the style of leadership of Malala, but I think the party in the caliber of UDA was not supposed to do it the way they did it. Some gentleman walked to UDA party headquarters, Johalende, and he declared himself the UDA Secretary General. This is because Malala had joined the camp of Natembeya in Western for some Mulembe Unity Forum. And that Mulembe Unity Forum did not sit well by a clique of leaders around William Ruto. And so Malala was accused of sabotaging the UDA party, and Halende was masquerading as the founder members of UDA were the people that started the coup plotters. Malala fell for that trap, and another team joined, a retaliatory team, a revenge team, also invaded the UDA headquarters, only for Cecil Mbarire to come posturing as bringing peace, but will later call a NEC meeting that removed Malala. Look at the body language of Mbarire when she was speaking in the UDA headquarters.
To come to the party to cause mayhem and to hurt others. We are a party that believes in the rule of law. We are a party with very clear ways and means of dealing with our conflicts, and we do not in any way support what has happened today and the goons that have been brought to the party headquarters to bring chaos. Therefore, I wish to announce that we are going to have a National Executive Committee meeting, NEC meeting, and it's an emergency meeting on Friday to resolve the matters that have emerged in the party since yesterday. I wish to assure all our members that as the NEC, we shall make sure we resolve those matters in a fair and best way possible, and the party will be back on its feet, and that will not allow what we've seen happen to continue. So be rest assured that we've taken this matter very, very seriously, and will take the necessary action on Friday after the National Executive Committee meeting. And we'll be able to announce to our members and to public the decisions of NEC, because that is where decisions are made. Our decisions are not made in the streets. Our decisions are not made through political hooliganism. Our decisions are made by the laid down organs of the party and structures. Ningetaka kuchukua hii nafasi.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we understand very well that the secretary, Malala, was a makeshift, was temporary, had not been confirmed, and was just picked to replace Veronica Maina, who was the UDA Secretary General. And then, because he was to be in cabinet, he was supposed to be, the Malala was supposed to be Secretary General of the party and also hold a cabinet position without portfolio. The same trick that was used by Uhuru Kenyatta to give Raphael Tuju a job in his cabinet. But the law is very clear on who is supposed to sit in cabinet. So, cabinet privileges that were given to Malala, he was stripped of those privileges and was reduced to operate as the Secretary General of the UDA party. Today, Malala is releasing what, according to him, are the forces behind his removal from UDA party. And without mincing his words, Malala is saying Mbarire, the Embu governor who doubles as the chairperson of the UDA party, and Kimani Ichung'wah, the Kikuyu member of parliament who is the majority leader in parliament, were the force behind Rigathi impeachment and were the people that also plotted his removal, outrightly saying that his removal had nothing to do with his competence or other ability to run the party, but it was because of his association with the deputy president, who at that time was also facing impeachment from a section of UDA legislators. Let us, without much ado, let us listen to Malala.
With potential to harm the image of the UDA party if exposed to the public through an open court. But I will not hesitate to take the next move if I don't get justice from the party's internal dispute and resolution committee. For the purpose of clarity, the matter before the political parties dispute tribunal, which I filed immediately after my supposed ouster, is for the sake of obtaining orders to stop the process of my replacement by the UDA party and the registrar of political parties until my substantive issues are fully heard and determined by the internal party organ responsible for disputes, that is IDRC. While I am pursuing this process and to ensure non-interference with the proceedings, I am demanding, therefore, that Mrs. Cecil Mbarire and Mr. Kimani Ichung'wah step aside as UDA party officials because their actions and intentions clearly portray them as having ill motive against the UDA party they purportedly serve and might interfere with this matter. I make the assurance that by the time I am done presenting all the remaining 17 issues before the IDRC, Mrs. Cecil Mbarire and Mr. Ichung'wah and their accomplices, who shall be known soon, will have no moral or political standing to hold any position, whether at the party or in public service. I have also written to the registrar of political parties, who already instigated the process of my replacement, and asked her to hold the replacement process pending the hearing and determination of my petition. This matter also attracted the attention of the UDA members who are here with me today, who I am informed also have written to the same registrar contesting my replacement. Thus, there are grounds for the registrar to stop the same under the Political Parties Act until this matter is dispensed within. The registrar of political parties also directed the UDA party to hold elections within 180 days, and for the avoidance of doubt. Therefore, I am announcing today that I will be seeking to retain the position of the Secretary General of UDA party when party elections are held, to get a direct mandate from party members so that a few early risers with ill motive will never again contemplate meeting secretly at 5 a.m. under heavy security to demean a ruling party by illegally removing a serving and deserving Secretary General. I will also be rallying party members to amend the party constitution and ensure no leader in elective position is allowed to serve as a party official, except the party leader and his deputy. These will cushion the party from being misused as a tool to settle selfish, personal, and regional political scores, as is happening currently. While at this, I wish to offer my voluntary advice to my good friend, the truthful man, the deputy president and the deputy party leader of UDA, His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, that he should not be deceived into letting down his guard regarding the issue of his impeachment. I am putting it to him that the coup plotters are not yet done. Free advice. If he wants to go and sleep, let him go and sleep. But the coup plotters are just on sleep mode. They are yet to be activated. As I conclude, may I state that my interest in all this is purely the pursuit of justice and to clear my name from possible speculations regarding my legal removal. I have served diligently and obediently as Secretary General for the UDA party since I assumed office, popularized the party across the country, and grew the party by more than 3 million new members. I cannot, therefore, exit because of an illegal decision made by a handful of malicious party officials who are scared of my achievements at the party. I assure the 3 million plus members who I convinced to join the UDA party that I will not abandon them. Where they will be is where I will be. Penye wataenda, ndio mimi nitaenda. Siwezi fukuzwa peke yangu.
The three aspects I would want us to pay attention, or rather to look at, that maybe are a bit interesting on that Malala statement. Malala is saying about those leaders wanted also are the ones that were plotting to remove Rigathi Gachagua. Now, if that statement, or rather if that press statement was organized to defend himself as the UDA party, if he wanted to defend his position as the UDA Secretary General and saying that his dismissal was unfair, then probably what you would expect is for him to stop talking about that Rigathi impeachment. That will be it. You will not expect, but why do you think Rigathi, as Malala, has resorted to speak about the Rigathi impeachment as linked to his ouster? Number two, the other thing that he's saying is Ichung'wah and Mbarire are the fellows that removed him. The coincidence is these two politicians are from Mount Kenya. And one is the national chairman of the party, the other one is majority leader, and they are all from the Kikuyu community. So I want to pause at that moment and ask. He's also said another claim there. He's saying that, he's saying something here. Now, in the daring revelation, Malala is saying that Cecil Mbarire and Kimani Ichung'wah, oh, sorry, I've lost it. I just want to get my notes here. Yeah. That Cecil Mbarire and Kimani Ichung'wah were the plotters to impeach DP Gachagua. He further says the duo forged minutes of party meetings and signatures of the party SG and DP to have access to the party bank accounts. So they take over the bank account. And why were they? They were taking over because they had removed Malala. Now, if they are to change the signatories of the UDA bank account, then shouldn't it be right, is it not right for it to be changed to the new Secretary General, who is Hassan Omar? And if from what Malala is saying, if that is the, if this is the modus operandi within the UDA party, then even Hassan Omar, it will be too early for him to celebrate his appointment as the UDA Secretary General. I would want to say at this point, listening to the way Malala is talking, that press briefing was authored by Rigathi Access. Malala is not talking more about him, but is talking more about Rigathi. And he's saying himself and Rigathi, they're not in it. Now, his statement is supported by what Rigathi said in a joint media interview with Gikuyu stations, that the decision to remove Malala from UDA party, he was not in the know. He was not consulted. So he's saying everything happened, but himself as the deputy president, who is the deputy party leader of the party, he was not consulted on everything going on. And from this, I can see clearly that there is a clear point that Malala is saying. Malala is saying William Ruto wants Rigathi Access out of the UDA headquarters. And there have been reports that even the office of the deputy party leader, which is that belonging to the deputy president, is not really furnished, or rather is not even there from the first place. So, of course, I think the people daily ran such a story at some point, probably last week, they ran such a story, or at the time there was this. But what then I'm realizing here is, these stories are coming at a time where there seems to be some sense of ceasefire between Rigathi and William Ruto. They've been moving together. They've been doing joint rallies. So anyone else would expect that things is now they are merrymaking. But that is not the situation. And from what Malala is saying, I want to explain to you why William Ruto is knocking Rigathi out of the UDA party. Kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell and like our videos. Congratulations to Eldoret. It's been elevated now to a city, from municipality to a city. I know there have been debate of whether it is deserving or not. I am not privy. I may not know the parameters of what is needed for a town to be elevated to a city. But of course, the city of champions. I think Eldoret will really attract global attention, looking at the number of athletes that is coming from the city of Eldoret to the world. Let's hope that it will attract some good investments from foreigners, because that city is a bit strategic. As to whether everything had been laid, the town had met that threshold, yeah, we will know with the time. Why is Ruto removing Rigathi from UDA party? It cannot be anything else apart from the ambition to slowly reduce the Mount Kenya bargain in 2027. I can say this. In politics, there is that power sharing. The cabinet changes did not employ much of that power sharing. But Mount Kenya, and if you listen to what some leaders have been saying, around the deputy president have been saying, is that they will not repeat the same mistake they made in 2027. But I'm a bit afraid that William Ruto is still leading them into that. If Rigathi is knocked out, there is one thing that is going to happen. If his stand, or rather his position in the clout in the party is lowered down, or rather if he is knocked down, then clearly those who want to bargain what is a need for us to support in 2022, it will be the Kimani Chungwas and the young other politicians. Those other politicians, they don't have any ambition apart from making Ruto president again in 2027. So one thing that Ruto will face, and I can tell you this, is he will be asked, yes, we are supporting you, but after you, there will be a transition. What do we do in 2032? Who amongst us are you going to support? So that's one of the reasons why I think William Ruto is removing Rigathi. The war that Malala is fighting is not his war. This is the war of Ruto. Is fighting the war of Ruto and Rigathi. Number two, I think Ruto is evading the possibility of using Rigathi as the path to Mount Kenya vote. Rigathi has really been trying to thrust himself as the kingpin. Being the senior most politician from the region, he's been trying to his level best to try to convince Mount Kenyans that he is the next after Uhuru Kenyatta. And he's really been trying to put his best foot forward. But that is something that William Ruto will not want, because just like he got to Mount Kenya with the sloganeering and all the manipulation tools to 2022, he will not want Rigathi to be in charge. Remember, these young politicians always believe they took Ruto to Mount Kenya. And I think the other thing is Rigathi has shown intention that he can run for presidency. Yes, he's shown that intention, that he can run for presidency. And what do you expect? When he did the roundtable interview, he said that Mount Kenya will also be making friends with other people. The moment you hear politicians saying, we'll be making friends, that is already showing intention he can vie. And if he's supposed to be part of the succession plan, if his succession plan is within the UDA party, then one thing I know and William Ruto understands is probably if after 2027, Rigathi will plan to his succession through UDA party. In the event it fails, then he moves out and run his politics just like what William Ruto did. So I think that is my take. I just want to read your feedback on why William Ruto is removing Rigathi from UDA. Thank you.